Hello, welcome to my channel, Ananda.ca. I'm just on the beach here on the Gold Coast in Queensland, Australia. I'm here holidaying and working for several months. So I've just walked down to my secret little hideaway, just a little cave just made out of some volcanic rock here on the beach. I just wanted to reflect on the blog that I wrote this morning. It was about, us having a trash can inside of our head, and how we often, we can associate the trash that we put out to the side of the road once a week for the truck to come, the garbage truck to come by and take away. We can, I like to think that in some strange way we can associate that with the trash that we store inside of our head. And it's a difference between putting the trash out, out of mind, out of sight, or composting. In the external world, same thing. It's, we can put our trash out and send it away. We don't care where it's going, but it's not in our home anymore and we don't have to worry about it. As opposed to creating something that we can compost, old stuff that we no longer have a use for, and creating something that we can use again in the future. So our thoughts and our ego are there's some similarities there. And we store our thoughts in our head, we turn them around and turn them around, and we might try to shift them, we might try to store them in another place in our ego, sort of the same thing, out of sight, out of mind. If we don't think about it, then we don't have to know about it. But the thoughts never go away. And the composting is sort of, if we're able, if we have enough courage to take those thoughts out of our ego, and and sort of dissect them one by one. Is the thought really worthwhile? Is it worth thinking about anymore? Is it really how is it holding us back in our life? And is it a belief that is redundant? We no longer need to believe it anymore. We've worked through it. And it's throwing it in the compost and then allowing that, that wounded part of ourselves, which is ultimately the thought in our ego, and making something useful with it in the end. So, for instance, if this sounds a bit confusing, for instance, if we have a thought that we're not worthy enough in the world, there have been people that poked at us growing up and, somehow assisted us in storing these beliefs about ourselves in our ego mind, that we aren't worthy enough, we're not good enough, we can never be, we'll never rise to. And if we start breaking down that thought and dissecting it more, and recognizing, well, that's no longer true in my life. I've proven myself. I am worthy. I am lovable. I do appreciate who I am. I am humble about, who I've grown to be. And we can throw that old thought, instead of throwing it in the trash and just moving it aside and then perhaps having to visit later after it's festered some more, we can throw it in the compost and just let it, dissolve into something more useful. And usually when we grow spiritually, the more compost that we have is the more of a humanitarian that we step into the world as. And that is always a beautiful thing, as empathic people or sensitive people. That's our purpose. That's the reason why we chose this life experience in the first place, the reincarnation. That's our karma, is to step into some sort of humanitarian role in whatever way, whether it be a teacher or, a healer in some aspect, an advocate, something along those terms, something to help the world evolve as well, and and then collectively raise the vibration of the energies for everyone. So, as silly as an analogy is that I wrote this morning in my blog about the trash and the composting, it sort of rings true. We can throw out the trash and just, not visit it, and just out of sight, out of mind, or we can begin composting our old beliefs and our old conditions about ourselves, and throwing them into something that will eventually turn out into something more beneficial. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.